Welcome to One World Celebration, brought to you by the Berkshire Immigrant Center. My name is James Warwick. I'm an actor and a director, and I now live here in this beautiful little house in the Berkshires. I think we're only custodians of the land and the places we live, and I have to say that I'm very grateful to have found my place here as a recent immigrant. I first got here in 1995. I was asked to do a tour. Remember, I'm an actor, so that's how I made my living. I was asked to do a tour, and I went, oh yes, thank you. and it was the musical of Camelot, and I was playing King Arthur, and I played King Arthur in every single state in America. I traveled 35,000 miles, and I had a sense of how vast and how beautiful and how varied and how, challenging this beautiful, huge country was, and I wanted to be part of it, the land of opportunity. It certainly is. I started to apply for a green card. I'd had an H1 and an O1 and other various lengthy documents which took years to achieve, but I didn't have the Berkshire Immigrant Center. I wish I had. And a year later, I think, when I finished the tour, I did a play on Broadway, so I made my mind up to come to America and see if I could adapt to a new way of living and start all over. This has been a wonderful journey for me, and I'm hoping that this evening will raise the consciousness and the appreciation of the Berkshire Immigrant Center, because the work they do is absolutely extraordinary. And I'm going to tell you more about that as the event unfolds. Thank you for staying with us. Enjoy the celebration that we have called One World.
Hello, and welcome to the Berkshire Immigrant Center's One World Celebration. We are so excited to highlight the many talents and testimonials from both local and international musicians, poets, and community members in support of the Center's work with all of you. This One World Celebration also features the anthology, What They Bring, the Poetry of Migration and Immigration. This event has been made possible by many dedicated committee members, volunteers, staff, board, donors, sponsors, and our producer, Clayson Creative. Thank you all for your hard work and generosity, which has allowed the Center to continue its mission of helping our clients navigate the complex immigration system with affordable legal services, local resources, and education. We hope that you will be inspired to donate to the Berkshire Immigrant Center in honor of your own immigrant story or that of a loved one. Please sit back and enjoy the beautiful music, poetry, and stories that have been recorded in celebration of immigrants.
Tonight's celebration is a mixture of music and poetry, and our first guest is Irene Willis. Irene is the author of 5 collections of poetry, most recently The Poetry of Migration and Immigration, co-edited with Jim Harbour. Irene is the recipient of a Distinguished Artist Fellowship from the New Jersey Council on the Arts and fellowships and grants from the Massachusetts Cultural Council, the Malay Colony, and the Berkshire Taconic Foundation. A long-time educator who has retired 3 times, she is currently poetry editor for the online publication International Psychoanalysis. Irene Willis.
Having grown up in Manhattan and heard every language and knowing every race and ethnicity, there was no such thing as a foreigner. I felt related to everyone, and still do. And so now, as requested, I'll read a couple of mine. First, what are you? What are you? Was the first question the kids in my new neighborhood, in every one of my new neighborhoods, would ask right after what's your name. The first time I didn't know what they meant. I was 8 and new at this. A person, I'd say. A human being. A girl. What do you think I am? Oh, you know what we mean, they'd say. What nationality? American, I'd say. I'm American. They'd laugh. You can't be. Nobody is. You have to be something. The next one is called Border, and it begins with a little epigraph, which was a headline in the New York Times, April 25th, 2019. A heartbreaking scene at the border, it said. A toddler found wandering alone. If reporters have their hearts broken, can yours be broken too, poor reader? Trying to eat your breakfast while that 3-year-old has none. Your fingers smudged from newsprint when the toddlers are filled with grit. Questions for the soul or intellect. Where to begin as we gulp down coffee, scarf down toast, carefully reach for vitamins to swallow with water fresh from the tap, supplements for God-given nutrients, sustenance, abundance, wealth. Thank you.
Hola, me llamo Mary Jo Ramos, soy de Puerto Rico. Me retiré de maestra de español hace 6 años y poco después me uní, por suerte, a los voluntarios del Centro de Inmigrantes de Berkshire. Allí traduzco, interpreto y ayudo en diferentes actividades. Mi favorita es la ceremonia de naturalización, en la que celebramos y le damos la bienvenida a los ciudadanos nuevos americanos. Disfruto muchísimo de trabajar con un grupo impresionante de personas dedicadas y preparadas y que abogan incansablemente por sus clientes. Valoro y agradezco poder seguir aprendiendo y aportando mi granito de arena en esta etapa de mi vida como voluntaria del Berkshire Immigrant Center. Gracias.
And now, clarinetist Paul Green. Paul Green's career spans jazz, classical music, and klezmer. He performs all 3 musical genres widely throughout the Berkshires and the Capital Region, and is on the music faculties of Williams College, Skidmore College, Schenectady County Community College, and the Berkshire Music School. Green's CD, Music Coming Together, reflects his desire to unite 2 musical cultures, Jewish music and jazz, and features his own arrangements of Jewish jazz fusion. In a follow-up CD, Abyssal Rhythm, he expands on that theme with his own original compositions. He lives in Pittsfield with his wife Lisa and dog Jolene. He will be accompanied on the piano by Ben Cohen.
I've been playing Jewish music for quite a long time, and I've been playing it up here as well as down in South Florida where we came from. And I just love this particular expressive quality of the music. It's got a lot to offer, and we hope you enjoy this.
At this point, I just wanted to tell you one or two interesting facts about the Berkshire Immigrant Center. Do you know $1,000 provides 16 weeks of free citizenship preparation classes? Get out your checkbooks. 800 assists one immigrant applying for US citizenship. 400 supports consular processing for a family's loved one abroad. Now, these are huge sums for these people coming from sometimes very different backgrounds to the ones we know. But your help can start them on their journey here, and I ask you to contribute as much as you can. Our next guest is a poet, and his name is Ocean Vuong. Ocean was born in Saigon, Vietnam, and emigrated to the United States at the age of 2. Raised in Hartford and now living in Northampton, he teaches at the MFA program in UMass Amherst. He wrote a semi-autobiographical novel, On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous. I want to read that. In luminous images and lyrical prose, he explores violence, dislocation, queerness, family bonds, and joy. Ocean Vuong.
This is Ocean Vuong reading for the Berkshire Immigrant Center for their very, very important fundraiser this year. I'm really proud and happy to be a part of this effort because New England is a region and a history fueled and made possible and enriched by immigrant labor and efforts from the various mills up and down the Connecticut River Valley and all the way to Boston. But also the tobacco, the farms, the things that sustain us, from Haitian immigrants to immigrants from the Dominican Republic, Latin America, Vietnamese, all portions of the world come here to this very small and lush region of ours and have made it better. And I'm really proud to be a member of this community and to see it continue to thrive. So thank you so much. And this poem is one perhaps haunted by immigration, but specifically the refugee experience, which is an immigration or a migration that is propelled by things outside of those who are moving, outside of their control, often from geopolitical ruptures. Telemachus. Like any good son, I pull my father out of the water, drag him by his hair through white sand, his knuckles carving a trail the waves rush in to erase. Because the city beyond the shore is no longer where we left it. Because the bombed cathedral is now a cathedral of trees. I kneel beside him to see how far I might sink. Do you know who I am, laugh? But the answer never comes. The answer is the bullet hole in his back, brimming with seawater. He is so still, I think he could be anyone's father, found the way a green bottle might appear at a boy's feet, containing a year he has never touched. I touch his ears. No use. I turn him over to face it. The cathedral in his sea-black eyes, the face not mine, but one I will wear to kiss all my lovers goodnight. The way I seal my father's lips with my own and begin this faithful work of drowning. Thank you.
Another interesting fact. The Berkshire Immigrant Center is becoming an independent 501c3 after operating under a fiscal agent for the past 24 years. Even more reason to get out your checkbook. Our next guest is another poet, Alfred Enchil. Now, Alfred was born in 1963, much younger than me, in the small Ghanaian town of Cade. At the time of his arrival in Pittsfield, he was one of the first West African immigrants to make the Berkshires his home and start a family. Today, Alfred is the president and owner of Elegant Stitches, his family's custom embroidery and screen printing company located in downtown Pittsfield. Outside of his work, he is a member of the African delegation of the St. Mark's Church and holds board positions for One Berkshire and the Berkshire Bank Foundation.
My name is Alfred Enchil, originally from Ghana, migrated to the United States in 1988, and I ended up here in Pittsfield with a post office contract. I continued doing the postal service contract and then started Elegant Stitches with my ex-wife. Elegant Stitches grew up from our basement, and now it's a successful business, having gone through fire that burned down everything. We picked up the ashes, picked up our pieces, and continued on. And today, Elegant Stitches has its own place. I have 4 sons, 3 who have graduated, and 1 more in high school. As an immigrant, I'm proud to call myself an African American. But the American dream continues. And if you believe in it, you will achieve it. And I'm a testimony to it. Berkshire County, I call it home. This June will be 30 years. And it's been a wonderful ride. And I love this place. Everyone that moving as immigrants should have the faith that this nation continues to be the melting pot that it has always been called. It is the greatest nation. Thank you. I Am Black by Gwendolyn Brooks, according to my teachers. I am now an African American. They call me out of my name. Black is an open umbrella. I am a black and a black forever. I am one of the blacks. We are here. We are there. We occur in Brazil, in Nigeria, Ghana, in Botswana, Tanzania, in Kenya, in Russia, Australia, in Haiti, Soweto, and Grenada, in Cuba, in Panama, Libya, in England, and Italy, France. We are graces in any places. I am black and a black forever. I am other than half nation. I say proudly, my people. I say proudly, our people. Our people do not disdain to eat yams or melons or grapes, or to put peanut butter in stew. I am Kojo. In West African, Kojo means unconquerable. My parents named me the 7th day from by birth. In black spirit, black faith, black communion, I am Kojo. I am a black and I capitalize my name. Do not call me out of my name.
I wonder if you know that there are 10,000 estimated number of immigrants living in Berkshire County. It's a lot. 900 plus hours of service from more than 25 dedicated BIC volunteers. 726 clients seen by BIC caseworkers last year. 50 clients BIC helped to become naturalized US citizens. With such an incredible caseload, we are asking you to donate to the BIC cause, either during this program or after this program, or at any time. You can look at the website, berkshireic.org, berkshireic.org.
Hello, my name is Leo Yantowski. I'm a past Berkshire Immigrant Center board member. My family and I also immigrated here when I was 8, and we received lots of help along the way from our organization, in the Jewish Federation of the Berkshires, which later became known as the Berkshire Immigrant Center. Looking back at it now, I'm not sure how we would have made it through the transition without all the help we received. That eventually drew me to join the Berkshire Immigrant Center board and volunteer with other organizations in the county. And I hope to one day be able to positively impact someone's life, even a small fraction of the way the Berkshire Immigrant Center impacted mine and my family's. 26 years ago, you changed this 8-year-old's life, and you continue to have the impact on many families. Thank you, everyone involved with the Berkshire Immigrant Center, for making this community and the world a much better place.
Did you know that the Berkshire Immigrant Center only has 6 staff members, 4 regular volunteers and 10 board members? Of these 20 people, 6 are immigrants and 12 are bilingual. It's an extraordinary organization. Our next guest is a lady called Naomi Shihab Nye. Naomi is a poet, songwriter and novelist. She was born to a Palestinian father and an American mother. During her high school years, she lived in Ramallah in Palestine, the Old City in Jerusalem, and San Antonio, Texas, where she later received her BA in English and World Religions from Trinity University. I've actually done a season there myself. Wonderful place. Welcome, Naomi.
Hello, I'm Naomi Shihab Nye, speaking to you from San Antonio, Texas. I'd like to salute everyone who works with the Berkshire Immigrant Center, all of the care you share with so many. I'd like to thank Rachel Beckwith for inviting me to share my poem called Mediterranean Blue. This is for all of you who are so brave and so beautiful and experience more than one world in your own lifetimes and find ways to put all the pieces together and make sense of things. Your strength moves us all. Mediterranean Blue. If you are the child of a refugee, you do not sleep easily when they are crossing the sea on small rafts and you know they can't swim. My father couldn't swim either. He swam through sorrow, though, and made it to the other side on a ship, pitching his old clothes overboard at landing, then tried to be happy, make a new life. But something inside him was always paddling home, clinging to anything that floated, a story, a food, or face. They are the bravest people on earth right now. Don't dare look down on them. Each mind a universe, swirling as many details as yours, as much love for a humble place. Now the shirt is torn, the sea too wide for comfort, and nowhere to receive a letter for a very long time. And if we can reach out a hand, we better.
Otha Day. Otha Day is from Yazoo City, Mississippi, and grew up in Chicago. He facilitates fun and lively drum circle events from the deep belief that rhythm has the power to build community, promote well-being, and create joy. Otha has taught on the faculties of several schools in New England, in addition to teaching college courses on rhythm-based creativity and communication, music of the Harlem Renaissance, general music theory, and jazz history. He has given many concerts as both a solo and ensemble pianist and teaches classical and jazz piano. Otha Day.
Thank you so very much for being here to support the Berkshire Immigrant Center. The Berkshire Immigrant Center is a vital center that does wonderful work in the Berkshires in that it helps the immigrants thrive. And when immigrants thrive, we all thrive and do better because of it. My name is Otha, and I am what's known as a drum circle facilitator. That is, I bring instruments, lots of instruments to a circle and put people next to the instruments, and then I help you connect one to the other because we all have this in our body. That is your heartbeat. And that heartbeat connects you to every single person on the planet. And the Berkshire Immigrant Center does something very similar. That is, it helps to make connections and helps all of us to thrive. So, again, thank you for being here and enjoy your day.
Me, then you. Me, then you. Baye, baye. Baye, baye. Baye, oh, baye. Baye, yeah, 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 baye. Stand up, rise up, bounce, bounce, bounce. Move your body, whoa. Move your body, clap your hands. Baye, baye. Baye, baye. Baye, oh, baye. Baye, yeah, 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 baye. Bounce, bounce, tap and bounce, bounce, bounce. Or jump, jump, jump and tap. Baye, yeah, 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 baye. Give yourselves a round of applause. Woo!
The Immigrant Center not only assists immigrants with legal matters, they also provide free citizenship preparation and English classes, as well as educational presentations and workshops for other organizations, schools and businesses. And I can tell you that at the moment there are 39 students enrolled in BIC's free citizenship preparation classes. We need your help. Please join us. Our next guest is Eleanor Velez. Eleanor Velez is an admissions counselor and coordinator for the Multicultural Center at Berkshire Community College. She is a diversity and inclusion champion and received the Literacy Network of South Berkshire Founders of America Award, the Berkshire Immigrant Center's Jane Addams Spirit Award, and the Multicultural Competence Award from Bridge. Extraordinary lady. Eleanor is currently a board member of Barrington Stage Company and a board member of Berkshire Taconic Community Foundation. Eleanor was born in Mexico and holds an associate degree from BCC and a bachelor's degree from Mount Holyoke College. Eleanor Velez.
Empacó un par de camisas, un sombrero, su vocación de aventurero, 6 consejos, 7 fotos, 1000 recuerdos. Empacó sus ganas de quedarse, su condición de transformarse en el hombre que soñó y no ha logrado. Dijo adiós con una mueca disfrazada de sonrisa. Le suplicó a su Dios, crucificado en la cornisa, por el resguardo de los suyos, y perforó la frontera como pudo. El mojado tiene ganas de secarse. El mojado está mojado por las lágrimas que evocan la nostalgia. el mojado, el indocumentado, carga el bulto que el legal no cargaría ni obligado. El suplicio de un papel lo ha convertido en fugitivo. Y no es de aquí, porque no aparecen los archivos, ni de allá, porque se fue. Mojado, sabía mentira tu verdad, sabia tristeza la ansiedad de ver un freeway y soñar con la vereda que conduce hasta tu casa. Mojado de tanto llorar, sabiendo que en algún lugar te espera un beso, haciendo pausa desde el día en que te marchaste. Si la luna suave se desliza por cualquier cornisa, sin permiso alguno, ¿por qué? El mojado precisa comprobar con visa que no es de Neptuno. Si la visa universal se extiende el día en que nacemos y caduca con la muerte, ¿por qué te persiguen, mojado? Si el cónsul de los cielos ya te dio permiso.
And now for something a little different. Recorded live at the beautiful barn in South Egremont, my hometown actually, Wanda Houston and her band. Now, if I can just say thank you to Jenny and Nick Keane at the barn for donating their premises for this part of the concert. I want to tell you just a little bit about Wanda Houston. Wanda started her career in Chicago. She's shared the stage in practically every part of the world in television, film and theatre. And she has recorded in Australia, Europe, all over the US and on Broadway. So now she performs mainly in New England with her rhythm and blues inspired Wanda Houston band, joined with the HBH band, Jazz Infused. So tonight, a collaboration of both bands for the first time since COVID 2020, with Jay Bradley on drums, Jeff Stevens, horns and vocals, Scott Heth, keyboard, bass and vocals, the wonderful Wanda Houston.
A song for all ages, a song for all times. And this one's for all of us now. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I would hammer out a warning, I would hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. All over this land. If I had a bell, see, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out danger, I would ring out a warning, I'd ring out love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. Gonna ring it, oh, I'm gonna see if I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I would sing out a warning, I'd sing about love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. We're gonna ring it, oh, I've got a hammer and I've got a bell, and I've got a song to sing all over this land. It's the hammer of justice, it's the bell of freedom. It's a song about love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land, all over this land. We've gotta bring some more justice and freedom and love all over this whole wide world. You know we can do it, you know we will do it, you know, 'cause we've got that hammer and we've got that bell. Sing it all over this land, all over this land, all over this, all over this land. All over this world.
Jim Harbour. Jim is a poet and painter who taught in the English departments at Cornell, Rutgers, and Rowan universities. And in addition to serving as founding director of the Geraldine R. Dodge Poetry Program and Poetry Festival, he also contributed to 24 festival-based PBS television programs and edited Bill Moyer's best-selling The Language of Life.
We all continuously experience migration and immigration. For many, crossing political borders, migration and immigration are fraught with danger and trauma. Others, engaged in only local and domestic transitions, may experience little more than anxiety and temporary dislocation. However, living as we do, in the flow of time, we are, all of us, constantly leaving a more or less comfortable present and entering an ever-evolving and, for us, unknowable future. Perhaps it is only through embracing this unending temporal migration and immigration that we can begin to experience the full exhilaration, the vitality of being. And perhaps it is only through embracing this experience that we can fully explore the dimensions of our lives and glimpse what our lives share with the lives of others. We are not the first to seek through poetry so famously elusive, always just beyond our grasp and, in some sense, alive itself, direct access to this awakened consciousness of reality's essential fluidity. And because I believe in poetry's power, mysterious power, to illuminate, I've chosen to include in this anthology some poems that may not immediately appear related to the widespread political migrations that currently and appropriately command our attention. So if you encounter a poem here in this anthology that seems out of place, please give it the benefit of the doubt. Relax your focus on the poem's surface concerns. freeing yourself from purpose and expectation. Then, unmoored and aimless, enjoy sinking down ever more deeply into the shared human experience of swimming in the rivers of time. You will have become an immigrant, leaving behind the world of fear and deadlines. To you I say, welcome home. To you I say, mi casa, su casa. And here is the poem I wrote 4 years ago in 2017 that helped Irene find her way toward imagining this anthology that we made together. It's called Let Them Come. What they bring is always more than what we thought we needed. They carry it in their bodies and in their dreams. The enduring, the new, the unimaginable, the beloved, the holy, the children of our children's children's children. Thank you.
My name is Emma Lesberg. I'm the assistant caseworker at the Berkshire Immigrant Center. And I stumbled upon BIC back in 2017 almost by accident. I was a first year in college, and I had heard about a potential refugee resettlement happening in my hometown of Pittsfield. That resettlement unfortunately never occurred, but the polarized reactions in our community underscored for me that as much as we may call ourselves a nation of immigrants, we are also a nation of xenophobia, with an immigration system designed to exclude certain people. I wanted to get involved with the organization in Berkshire County that helps immigrants navigate these complex immigration laws. Now, as caseworkers, my colleague Lorena and I assist over 700 clients a year, helping them reunite with family members, pay their rent, understand their rights as immigrants, and change or maintain their immigration status. I am consistently awed by the determination and tenacity of the clients I meet to overcome obstacles and make their lives here in the Berkshires.
Did you know that 16 grants have been awarded to BIC for their services, support, and education? Well, 16 grants is hard work. I know, I've worked in not-for-profit myself for many years, and that is why we need your help now and whenever you have the time to join us in our support for this extraordinary organization. Our next guest is a poet, amongst other things, and her name is Lisken Van Pelt Dus. Lisken was raised in England, the US, and Mexico, and now lives in Pittsfield. Her poetry has earned awards from Cider Press Review, Atlanta Review, and others, as well as several Pushcart Prize nominations. She can be read in such journals as Conduit, the South Carolina Review, and Upstreet, and in her chapbook, Everywhere at Once, and her full-length book, What We're Made Of. Lisken teaches at Berkshire Community College and is co-owner and chief instructor of Elm Street Martial Arts.
This poem is My Father Asks What I Remember. Scarf tied under my chin, we walked through cemeteries, through muddy fords, through streets with cracks, through woods. Once, someone was playing a violin. I could see the notes cascading from a high window, their yellows, blues, reds, almost too much to bear, but pretty, not like the shelling that drowned me in oceans of clashing color. Had I known then that you didn't see sound, would I have told you, Father? I don't know. I bent and folded wild grasses in my fingers as we walked. or rubbed a scrap of paper. When the bats appeared, swiping across our path, rest was coming. Sometimes even a pillow. More often not. Cities had subways, which felt safe, but when the buskers began, the colors bounced off walls and were blinding. At home, there had been a lion in the zoo. When I saw a toy one in a store window, I said nothing, and we walked on. Caseworker. Entire villages meander from hunger to hunger, enticed by small scraps, the scrapings of a bowl, hallucinating meat in banquets on tables, savoring saliva in dreams between wakings, silencing the children with pebbles like sweets. Empty is the normal condition of the bowls mothers place carefully on shelves behind basins. Harvest failed again in sun's conspiracy with rain. Bellies distended, as if in mockery of my prosperity. Each child weaned, another body ballooning. Of the dreams of the fathers away working, I can say nothing, except they are also empty. Cries of their children silent across the miles, open mouths turned upward like baby birds. Hunger eating the fathers, too. Yes, hunger.
Our next guest is Yehuda Hanani. Yehuda's charismatic playing and profound interpretations have brought him international acclaim. An extraordinary soloist with major orchestras, chamber musician, recording artist, essayist, and ambassador for the arts. He also presents masterclasses internationally and is on the faculty of the Mann School in New York City. A native of Israel, he has contributed mightily to the cultural scene in the Berkshires, and as artistic director of the innovative chamber music series Close Encounters with Music. Ladies and gentlemen, Yehuda Hanani.
Hi everybody. I am very glad to be part of this important project. I was not born here. Luckily for me, I was not an asylum seeker, but brought by Leonard Bernstein and Isaac Stern from another fabulous country, Israel, to further my studies, to fulfill my potential, and ended up staying, contributing to the cultural life of this amazing country. The two movements I will be playing from the Bach suites are two of 5 movements from different countries of Europe: Germany, France, Spain, England. Bach takes them all together and turns them into one fantastic unit, and this is what this country is all about. So you have diversity and you have the magic of unity in pluribus unum. Diversity and unity all at once. My friend here is also an immigrant. It was made in Italy 300 years ago. The two of us are going to play for you the saraband, which is Spanish in origin with Moorish influences, and the jig, which comes from the British Isles.
Richard Blanco. When he read his poem, One Today, at Barack Obama's second inauguration in 2013, Richard Blanco was the first Latino, first openly gay, and at the time youngest poet to receive this honor. Today, this much celebrated author of the poetry collections A Miami Childhood co-hosts the Village Voice on WGBY in Boston and teaches at Florida International University. Richard Blanco.
Hi everyone. Hola a todos. It is my great pleasure and privilege to lend my heartfelt support to the Berkshire Immigrant Center in honor of all the amazing work that they do for immigrant families very much like my own. My father in English. First half of his life lived in Spanish, the long syntax of las montañas that lined his village, the rhyme of sol with his soul, a Cuban alma that swayed with las palmas, the sharp rhythm of his machete cutting through caña, the syllables of his canarios that sung into la brisa of his island home, which he left to spell out the second half of his life in English, in the vernacular of New York City's sleet, neon, and glass, and the brick factory where he learned to polish steel 12 hours a day. Enough to save enough to buy a used Spanish-English dictionary he kept bedside like a Bible, studied 15 new words after his prayers each night, and then practiced them on us the next day. Buenos dias. Indeed, my family. Indeed, más café. Have a good day today, indeed. And again in the evening, gracias to my bella wife, indeed, for dinner. ¿Hiciste tu homework? Indeed. La vida es, indeed, difícil. Indeed did become his favorite word, which, like the rest of his new life, he never quite grasped. Overused and misused, often to my embarrassment. Yet the word I first learned to love and know him through. Indeed, the exile who tried to master the language he chose to master him. Indeed, the husband who refused to say, I love you, in English to my mother. Indeed, the man who died without true translation. Indeed, meaning in fact, en efecto, meaning in reality, de hecho, meaning to say now what I always meant to tell him in both languages. Thank you, gracias, for surrendering the past tense of your life so that I might conjugate myself here in the present of this country. In truth, así es, indeed. Mother country, madre patria. To love a country as if we've lost one. 1968, my mother leaves Cuba for America, a scene I imagine as if standing in her place. One foot inside a plane destined for a country she knew only as a name, a color on a map, or glossy photos from drugstore magazines. Her other foot anchored to the platform of her patria, her hand clutched around one suitcase, taking only what she needs most. Hand-colored photographs of her family, her wedding veil, a doorknob from her house, a jar of dirt from her backyard, goodbye letters she won't open for years. The sorrowful drone of engines, one last deep breath of familiar air she'll take with her. One last glimpse at all she'd ever known. The palm trees wave goodbye as she steps onto the plane. The mountains shrink from her eyes as she lifts off into another life to love a country as if we've lost one. I hear her, once upon a time, reading picture books over my shoulder at bedtime, both of us learning English, sounding out words as strange as the talking animals and fair-haired princes in their pages. I taste her first attempts at macaroni and cheese, but with chorizo and peppers. And her shame over Thanksgiving turkeys, always dry, but countered by her perfect pork pernil and garlic yuca. I smell the rain of those mornings, huddled as one under one umbrella, waiting for the bus to her 10-hour days at the cash register. And at night, the zzz, zzz, zzz of her sewing her own blouses and quinceañera dresses for her grown nieces still in Cuba, guessing at their sizes. And the gowns she sell to neighbors to save for a rusty white sedan, no hubcaps, no air conditioning, sweating all the way through our first vacation to Florida theme parks to love a country. As if you've lost one. As if it were you on a plane departing from America forever. Clouds closing like curtains on your country, the last scene in which you're a madman scribbling the names of your favorite flowers, trees, and birds you'd never see again. Your address and phone number you'd never use again. The color of your father's eyes and your mother's hair, terrified you could somehow, someday, forget these. To love a country, as if I was my mother, last spring, hobbling, insisting I help her climb all the way up to the U.S. Capitol, as if she were here before you today instead of me, explaining her tears, her cheeks pink as the cherry blossoms coloring the air that day, when she stopped, turned to me, and said, "You know, mijo, it isn't where you're born that matters. It's where you choose to die. That's your country."
Our next guest is a group called Mukhana. The word Mukhana in the Shona language means opportunity. A couple of years ago, Berkshire-based guitarist Jason Ennis saw a wonderful opportunity to form a new band with a diverse group of world-class musicians based in the western Massachusetts, southern Vermont region. The 8 musicians who came together to form Mukhana have since developed a unique sound, fusing Zimbabwean, Haitian, Chilean, and other Latin American traditions. Mukhana are presenting 2 songs. Kushishima, the title means whiny or pouty in Shona. A quartet version of this was used by the Berkshire Music School and used for outreach programs for local elementary and middle schools. And the second is Big City. This song was written by Tendai Moparatsa as he was emigrating to the United States to pursue his graduate studies, and speaks to the power and possibility that diverse, pluralistic and welcoming society offers to us all.
Kwambuya kunochiwa nzungu, kwambuya kunochiwa maputi, kwambuya kunochiwa mandiri, kwambuya kunochiwa nyimo. Sikuru wachiveza mupenyu, sikuru wachipfura matemo, sikuru wachisunga mamburi, sikuru wachiturika mito. Kwambuya nasekuru todzidza magariro epasi chigare. Kwambuya kunochiwa nzungu, kwambuya kunochiwa maputi, kwambuya kunochiwa mandiri, kwambuya kunochiwa nyimo. Sikuru wachiveza mupenyu, sikuru wachipfura matemo, sikuru wachisunga mamburi, sikuru wachiturika mito. Kwambuya nasekuru todzidza magariro epasi chigare. Suva sikuru toenda tichinoyema, kwambuya nasekuru vatinoregwa tichiita zvatinoda. Suva sikuru toenda tichinoyema, kwambuya nasekuru vatinoregwa tichiita zvatinoda. Vazukuru toema, toema, kushishima. Vazukuru toema, toema, kushishima. Vazukuru toema, toema, wana vakomana kushishima. Ona vazukuru toema, ona toema, kushishima. People come to the big city, brought together through common needs. People from all walks of life, brought together through necessity. Different languages and dresses, It doesn't matter, cause we are all one. Big cities, high commonplace, where people come together for a new life. They come for work, love, and education. Big cities, high commonplace. Big cities, love means love. Big cities are multicultural.
Thank you all for joining us tonight. Please go to our website, berkshire.org, to learn how your donation impacts our work in the community.
That concludes our time together. Berkshire Immigrant Center has helped clients in the last year from Colombia, Mexico, Ghana, Ecuador, El Salvador, Brazil, Ivory Coast, Peru, Dominican Republic, and Guatemala, amongst many others. One world celebration indeed. Please check the website, if you will, berkshireic.org, berkshireic.org, to learn how to make a donation, to support the work, and join us for future events like this. Thank you so much for joining us. Goodbye for now.